Hello everybody, my name is Starrapter. Welcome to the channel. I'm psyched because I just came back from a midnight launch for the Nintendo Switch 2. In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience at the launch of Nintendo Switch 2. That goes from waiting in line at Best Buy to showing you guys what actually comes inside the box to telling you guys my experience with some of the few games, both new and old enhanced games, and just the feel of the system and all. Just giving you guys my baseline thoughts on the system. To be completely transparent, I never had an original, Switch. I had a Switch Lite. So for me, being able to actually do the whole switching between TV and portable mode is what I'm very much looking forward to. But to start off with the waiting in line and figuring out how to get this thing, because I could not get a pre-order. So the day of the eve of the launch, I tried GameStop, had no luck with that at 3 p.m. to try to get to the 12 p.m. slot. Tried Best Buy, and the Best Buy here in central New Jersey had plenty for the pre-orders and had plenty for everybody else. I mean, there must have been probably over 100 people. From what I heard, there was like 120 bundles of the Mario Kart and probably another 100 of just the bare system. And I don't think anybody got turned away, which is so great to see. Best Buy was really on it. They had all the staff there willing to help and ready to help in any way they could. All the accessories were there. We had just, everything you could have wanted at that launch. It went off pretty well. I was out of there by about 1 o'clock in the morning, and that's when I'm recording this basically right now. As far as the line itself, I love doing this midnight launch stuff. I think the last time I did a midnight launch was way back with Grand Theft Auto 5, back when I was still in college, which is over 10 years ago, which is crazy. So there's something special about, just chatting amongst all those people, like-minded people. Hey, we're all here for a video game system. And when it comes down to it, I brought my Nintendo Switch Lite, planned on playing. I had my battery pack and everything. I didn't play even a minute of it. I was talking to my neighbors there in line. We're just chatting about games, just going on nostalgia trips. N64, I'm wearing my Gamecube shirt right now, talking about that. We're talking about Star Wars. I even did my weekly Wednesday Tractor Beam Star Wars podcast live from the line at Best Buy in central New Jersey. That was a really fun 50-minute conversation with my co-host in a different location than I normally am in. So I actually had a complete blast, and it's fun doing these midnight launches, even though I was waiting in line for basically 4.5 hours by when it all said was done. I really enjoyed myself here. But enough of me talking about the experience of the midnight launch. Let's actually see what this system has to offer. So let's take a closer look at the packaging for Nintendo Switch 2. So here we go, the Nintendo Switch 2 in all its glory. Now I did get the Mario Kart bundle. Technically you save $30 if you get it bundled in. Nice, simple packaging. Now some people say the packaging is a little bit confusing with the OLED model for Switch 1. It is very similar. The packaging, obviously the controllers right away are different. We get the nice back shot of the dock right there. And there we go, we got that nice outside playing it in the sunlight. There's a bunch of warranty and whatnot stuff there. So here we go. Let's break it open and see what we get inside the Nintendo Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle. Okay, so we get these instructions here. First, we gotta plug it in, set it up. All right, so very simple there. But wow, so here we go. This is the Switch, ladies and gentlemen, Switch 2. Oh man, look at the size of that screen. This is basically the size of my tablet that I used to use for work. So very nice, large screen. I'm gonna just leave it in the package. Or maybe I'll just take it out. I gotta take it out, right? Why not? Now there is a protective film on the screen, which Nintendo did officially come out and say do not remove. There should be a screen protector of some degree on there, like that nice, this finish, this feels really good in the hands. This feels really good, that kind of, feels higher quality. Oh, look at that, you have a kickstand here. See, this is all new to me as far as, okay, the kickstand. Let me put that right there, like so. All right, let's test out our I want to call them nunchucks, but that was from the Wii. See, I've not even played the Wii U. All right, so wow, okay, so this is our left one here. Joy-Con. Ooh, really like the analog feel on this, guys. Really like the clickiness to it. Oh, cool, there's buttons on the side here, right? You can do a lot of games, play a lot of games. There's that back button. Oh, this feels really good. And I do like the color. I like the color palette of the highlights, or the accents, if you will, of the orange and the blue. Well, let's try it out. Let's try out this whole new setup that they have for the sticks. They're supposedly just go in. Oh my gosh, that's so satisfying. Seriously. That is so satisfying, just snapping those on. And they won't come off. Like, this is actually, whoa, this is a big system. Oh my gosh, this is so much bigger. So much bigger than the, oh, and here's the, oh, wow. That is so cool. Watch this, guys. Boom. You have a special release button, so I can't take it off right now. Release button here. Boom. And it's just so, I feel like the longevity of these Joy-Cons will be greatly improved with a system like this rather than the sliding thing. Boom. That is one good looking system, if I may say so myself. So let me just set that up off to the side for you guys. Oh man, that is awesome looking. Okay, what else are they giving us here? Okay, so there's our code, right? We know that with the Switch 2, a lot of this stuff is going to be codes. Even if you buy games, they're going to be mainly just key codes. Okay, so this is just our warranty book. We have our HDMI. That's our wire. That's our warranty of some degree. This is our, looks like our HDMI. Remember 4K. Okay, these are the wrist straps. Do people really use the wrist straps that much? I don't know, but there's that. A lot in here. Wow, okay. This is our AC adapter. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Let's see how this is. This is our grip. Okay, so now I'm going to take off that and put it in here and see how that, oh wow, that's nice. I love the snappiness. Good, very good build quality, I will say. I'm just nervous at taking this thing apart. It feels good though, it feels rigid. Okay, and that's our offset controls for our grip. Not bad at all. Again, you can't really like take it off. They took the sliding motion out. And this feels really good. I keep saying that, but that's it. What else can I say? Take that off there. And just the versatility of it all is just so fun. Okay. So this is our charging cable. And here must be the dock. Okay, yeah, so from what I know, this is quite a bit more hefty than the other dock. There is a fan in here, and this allows us to get up to like 4K 60, so there's definitely going to be a lot more stress on the system, so it needs to cool this. But yeah, there you go. I'm going to show you guys some accessories now. Okay, so this is our brand new redesigned Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. You could use the original Switch 2 Pro controller, but this one has some added bells and whistles, such as just a different build design, as well as I believe a microphone is included inside the controller, as well as some kind of like bumper buttons that you would expect out of something like the Xbox Series Elite controller has. So I already cut the tape before, so we're gonna just dive right in, show you guys some up close footage and explain how it feels. Okay, we get a nice charging cable, perfect. Doesn't use batteries, that's nice, it's rechargeable. I've never owned one of these because, again, I only ever had a Switch Lite. Okay, this feels very good. It feels, you know, feels like an Xbox controller that you would get in the box. Nothing as good a build quality, I would say, as like an Elite Series controller. But I am really digging this. This feels right at home with me and my Xbox controller. Okay, so this is the new button, right? C button is the new chat button. Did not point that out on the Joy-Cons there. That's your game chat button. But these are buttons that are new. You got these little nubs on the back there. So we got them. But yeah, you got clicky analog sticks. I like the front-facing buttons feel large enough to really feel responsive, bouncy back, and yeah, it feels really good. I'm looking forward to trying out Legend of Zelda with this, as well as Mario Kart. And here we have the Nintendo Switch 2 camera. Now, it is worth noting you could use a lot of third-party Logitech, or I guess, you know, different kind of webcams. I don't know if Logitech for sure, but they're major ones. I would imagine you can use them, hopefully. But yeah, you could just plug any other USB kind of camera in. You're gonna get cool things with game chat where you can talk to your friends and stream the games, and you can also have certain games with like Mario Party Jamboree. That's what happens when you're recording a video like this at 2 a.m. after you waited in line for 5 hours, guys. Maybe I'm a little delirious, who knows? But let's open up the package and actually see this thing. So, you know, I'm gonna come back and talk more about this after I use it for some time, but this is smaller than I expected, which is good. I don't want this big thing just out there. Yeah, so the stand feels nice. I'll say that this little stand here really feels like it has weight, like it's going to be hard to knock this thing over, which at first glance it goes like, oh, this doesn't look like much, but hey, this is the proprietary camera for Nintendo Switch 2, and it's cool because the Nintendo Switch 2 actually has 2 different USB ports, so you can have, you know, your USB-C here charging, and then you have one up there to plug in your camera. So pretty cool stuff there. Now, this is the comparison I've been waiting for, is comparing the Switch Lite to the Switch 2. I can literally fit the Switch Lite entirely inside of the Switch 2. Like, look at that. Oh, it almost fits in the entire screen itself. That's insane how much bigger this screen is with the 2 versus the Lite. I'm really got, somebody has bad eyes. I'm squinting sometimes, putting this thing very close to my face. I appreciate the screen being so much larger. I don't know if you can make a screen be that much larger without it really being heavy, but it doesn't feel too bad right now. But yeah, I mean, all that's left to do is actually test the software, test the games, and I'll report back with my findings. So here we go. Okay, so instead of just taking a few days to look at this, I took an entire week to look at the Switch 2. So this is a lot more in depth, a lot more in detail than I ever expected. This was more of an initial impression, and now it has morphed into more of a regular review. I think I've put enough hours into the software, the games and whatnot, and playing around with the system in its different forms to really get a good idea of what this system actually is. So getting right into it, the first day, the first thing I did after I showed you guys the unboxing there was immediately it had me transfer all the files from the Switch Lite into the Switch 2. So this was definitely different. I thought that all this stuff would be just like on the cloud somewhere like it is with Xbox. So this took a little bit of time, a little bit longer than I thought it would. And at first that was just mainly me like downloading and updating a lot of software. I will say that the download speed on Wi-Fi and whatnot was a little slow. I ended up having to hardwire it into the dock itself, and I got a lot more power, obviously, as you would expect. And also I had to do a little tinkering with my LG B2 OLED because the HDR didn't work immediately. So I had to go in and tinker with some settings there. But after that was settled, it worked very, very well. And the first thing I really did and spent a lot of time in is the controversial welcome tour. This is basically the tech demo suite that Nintendo has, but you do have to purchase it for $10. So yes, but the more I poured into it, I actually spent over 10 hours in this experience, because this to me is very, very valuable, very positive experience for me, because I went to the Nintendo Museum in Kyoto, sorry, and then I came back, and now I'm in a virtual museum of the Switch 2. So what this is, there's a bunch of tech demos, but also actual games. You get rewards, these different stars that can unlock further games. But there's all these quizzes. There's really good in-depth knowledge about the Switch that I never would have expected from Nintendo. Like, there is no stone left unturned. Everything from the memory to the design of the controllers, I've really learned quite a bit. Even like certain functions I didn't know existed. Like, oh yeah, you have to check off this certain box to allow the Switch to wake up your TV, and when you hit the remote on the TV's remote, it'll shut down the Switch into sleep mode. Like, really useful stuff there. Getting to understand about the hardware itself, and not knowing that the Switch 2 is capable of ray tracing as well. That's hard to say, ray tracing. Not only that, is there's a little bit of water inside the Nintendo Switch 2. It's a little bit water cooled. There's a fan in there. So as a PC nerd myself, it was really cool to see like the VRR, variable refresh rate, 120, 60. I like how there's games about, oh, what's the difference between, can you tell between 20 to 40 to 120, different things like that. I found it really interesting as well. The engineering that went behind the people, Nintendo went to the different lengths to figure this out. So it might come off as a little bit boring for people, but I just poured myself into it. I really enjoyed kind of easing my way into this hardware that I'm not used to for the first time. From there, I went into Mario Kart World, which is the biggest game for the system. This is the system seller, and it literally comes with half the systems if you get the bundle like I did. It's a digital code, and what really made this game stand out for me is just the presentation, how good it runs, how great the music tracks are, the smoothness. It's just so good to see a Nintendo game like this look so good and play so good in the year 2025, right? Having that 4K resolution, I believe it's 120 frames per second, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's 60. It just, the colors really pop. And it is just so fun, so addicting, getting a chance to try the knockout mode, where it's just like almost like a battle royale in a sense, where it's like people are getting eliminated as you're racing through. So they got that kind of stakes on the line, but it's addicting, finding new characters, as well as unlocking new vehicles that you could race in. There's a lot of crazy kooky characters like dolphins and penguins, and just a random bunch of smaller versions of the character like Baby Rosalina, Baby Mario, things like that that really make this quite a game, and it's fun playing it at split screen. I feel like playing at split screen, playing this game multiplayer is the way to go. I then got to try game chat. My buddy was on the other side of the chat there, and we were speaking clearly. It's noise canceling. The mic inside the Switch 2 is just absolutely tremendous, because I have the dock set behind my TV, because I don't want to obscure the TV with the dock in front of it. And the mic that is on the Switch itself picks up perfectly fine. I can hear my friend through the TV speakers. There's no like feedback or anything like that. So the tech wizards at Nintendo really figured this thing out, and that game is really fun in general. But there's not just the Mario Kart Switch 2 edition that you have, but there's also a Switch 2 version of certain games that were originally on the Nintendo Switch. Namely, these are The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and the sequel as well. So we also have these games. So I was playing through the 4K HDR Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom is the sequel. I haven't played that one, which is why I don't have it committed to memory. But if Breath of the Wild is any kind of indication, I will be buying Tears of the Kingdom eventually, because man, I feel like I started the game a brand new file, and it felt like stepping into the world for the first time. Again, I'm used to playing this game on like, what is it, like a 5-inch screen on the light or whatever it is. Playing it on a 72-inch HDR 4K resolution, high frame rate, this thing looked beautiful, and I cannot wait to just spend hours and hours in Hyrule in the way that I'm sure the Nintendo creators intended, right? This is just good stuff there. What's really cool about the Nintendo Switch as well is that there's even games on Nintendo Switch original system that are getting buffs and getting improvements. And what I've really got a kick out of is Pokemon Scarlet in specific, of course Violet as well, the pairing game. There is no cost to this DLC because there is one $10 upgrade, or if you have Switch, you get Switch Online, you get the Zeldas for the expansion editions for free. But no, with Pokemon, they have a high frame rate introduced. It really fixes, I think, a lot of the people's gripes that they had with the original version on the Switch. Plus, you could see Pokemon from like further out. So this is kind of almost, I wouldn't call it remake territory, but it's definitely more than just an update. It's almost like a remaster of sorts. And it's great for me because I have not finished that game. So that's my main game right now that I'm playing, and I'm having an absolute blast. Taking that with me and then playing it at home. I always wanted to play a Pokemon game on the big screen ever since Pokemon Stadium on the N64. Yeah, it dates me a bit, guys, but that's okay. But that was just really fun experience playing through that so far. And then getting the chance to play third-party games as well. I got a chance to dive into Fortnite. And Fortnite actually utilizes the mouse controls of the Switch 2 very, very well. So you have your one Joy-Con controlling with your analog stick, and then you have the other one you're using as a mouse. And it works so well. The mouse, very balanced, and it's just a lot more accurate, as you would expect, than using joysticks. Same thing. It's like basically I prop this thing up and it's like almost having like a PC, because this is it's almost like a mobile PC, how powerful the hardware is within the Switch 2, right? It's got AI and all that kind of cool upscaling tech as well. Also, just like the classic GameCube stuff, I love playing Soul Calibur 2, playing F-Zero, which I never even played before, and then playing the Wind Waker. And I even bought the GameCube controller, which you could also use just on any other Switch 2 game. And it's just bringing me back nostalgia. Again, I haven't messed with a lot of these back catalog games that they've released for the Nintendo Switch On that you get access to. For GameCube, you have to have a Switch 2, and you got to have the Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack, which is like the next tier up. I think it's like $80 a year or something for that, but you get a ton of games. You get a ton of games from back in the past. So somebody like me, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, you're gonna have a lot more of those trips down memory lane, because let me tell you, looking through those catalogs, seeing all those classic games really warms my heart, and I will see myself playing a lot more of those as long as I own this thing, which is going to be forever. I don't get rid of systems. That's just how I am. But then also, getting into another feature I really enjoyed. I think if we're looking and wrapping this all up, the features that will stand a test of time with the Switch 2 are obviously the fidelity to 4K, but 1080p on the go. The screen is clear as day. I know people are hung up on this not being an OLED model from the beginning. I think once you look at this LCD screen, you're going to quickly forget that this thing's not OLED, because it just does the job and does it very well. Just HDR, VRR, everything that you would expect from like a mobile PC kind of thing. It's kind of crazy that Nintendo has jumped on the bandwagon in a sense and says, okay, we're going to actually try to compete. I feel like they're competing this time around. Latest report is the tech inside the Switch 2 is about somewhere between the PS4 and the Xbox Series S. So I think people are realizing that this thing has even more power than they originally thought. So that is really, really good for third party. We're going to see a lot more of these games getting announced that are also going to be announced on PS2 or on the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. Another big feature besides the mouse controls is the HD Rumble 2. Now, as you're playing through the walking tour, they're going to do a lot of tech demos with that HD Rumble 2, and I think it's really fantastic. As somebody that has never played with a DualSense PS5 controller, I really don't have a lot of experience with this kind of haptic feedback, but the way that Nintendo has designed the rumble features, if you're holding something, you can have a maraca, then you can have like a rubber ball bouncing, you can feel it. And even these rumble options actually make noise. They can actually emit noise at the frequency that these things vibrate, so they can enhance and have speakers basically in your hands. So it's absolutely insane. Just the depth, and until you get your hands on these things, you're not going to really probably understand the amount of precision and the way that this vibration, somebody has been playing with games that used vibration as a gameplay element since, what was it, N64 back in the late 90s. It's crazy to see the evolution and how far that technology has come. But I mean, overall, just having this system in my hands, it looks good every time I pick it up. It's got that weighty kind of high class feel to it that is more of a premium product, less of a kid's toy. And it's very solid, and there's not a lot of room for anything else. This thing is chock full of really good tech. And I mean, people will probably be concerned about the battery. Yeah, if you're playing Mario Kart World or any of these high-end games, maybe Cyberpunk, maybe you'll barely get 2 hours out of it. But that, that's why I'm mainly playing this in dock mode, but I will be playing it in portable mode often as well. So there you go. Those were my thoughts on Nintendo Switch 2. I absolutely love this console. I think it's the best of both worlds. You got the best kind of portable system you could buy, and you get a really good TV experience. And now I have a lot of games I have to catch up on. A lot of games I have to buy because, man, oh man, I've been kind of in the dark ages when it's come to Nintendo. I haven't really been a big Nintendo guy since probably the Wii all those years ago. So you'll catch me later. I gotta go play some Nintendo games, guys. But what do you think of my midnight launch thoughts, my review, whatever this video is gonna end up being called? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you guys were lucky enough to get a Nintendo Switch 2 if you wanted to. It seems like it was pretty easy to get if you planned ahead. If you didn't plan ahead, good luck. Maybe you'll get one in a couple months. Although Nintendo did say they plan on having enough availability for everybody that wants one. And apparently this is the fastest selling console in Nintendo's history. So take that as you will. But again, that's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.